Master of Sass, The Way of the Ninja. In a blacksmith shop located in a small village, Kai was making an effort at forging a sword. He had spiky brown hair and amber eyes. To forge the perfect weapon, you first need the right metal and plenty of heat, he mumbled to himself as he lifted the red-hot blade. Cool it off, he plunged it into a bucket of water. And presto, he finished, holding up the loopy, curved blade. What? Ha 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 ha! The laughter of his sister Nia and their friend Irene reached his ears. Nia had black hair and a short bob, and the same amber eyes Kai had, where Irene had shoulder-length brown hair in a braid, and her eyes were different colors. The left eye was brown, and the right eye was blue. I know the metal can get a little warped, but that is ridiculous, Irene snickered. Nia added, You made it too quickly, Kai. Be patient. If Father was still here, he'd say, I know, Kai interrupted. No matter how much fire you have, experience isn't something you learn overnight. That may work for you, Nia, but I'm going to be a better blacksmith than Dad ever was. Irene turned to see an old man with a long white beard and a staff walking in. Can I help you, sir? She asked. The old man looked up at her with genuine surprise in his eyes, as if he didn't expect to see her there. Possibly, he said in reply to her question. He turned to a stack of helmets and said loud enough for Kai to hear, Your metal is loud and heavy, useful to slow one down. Kai looked up sharply as the old man continued. Useless in the art of stealth. All tools for a samurai, but nothing for a ninja? Ninja, Kai scoffed. You're a long way from finding a ninja in these parts, old man. And the shop is called 4 Weapons, not 4 Browsing, so either buy something or go peddle your insults somewhere else. Kai, don't be rude, scolded Irene. To her surprise, the old man chuckled. Ha! Too bad. Thought I'd find something special here. He turned to the door. Kai looked at the girls and they shrugged. In an effort to salvage the situation, Kai said, If it's something special you're looking for, let me show... He turned to find the old man gone. Where did he go? He was just here, Kai said, looking around for him. Oh, that's easy, Irene replied. He walked out the door and poof, gone. She laughed. Guys, Nia said nervously, drawing their attention to the darkened sky and the vehicles filled with skeletons. No chance they're here for a picnic, Irene commented dryly. Kai put on some armor and grabbed a sword as the skeletons approached. What are they? Nia asked. I don't know, Kai replied as he put a helmet on. You girls stay here. He went out there and began clumsily swinging his sword at the skeletons. We're not going to listen to Kai, are we? Irene said. Nope, Nia replied as she grabbed 2 staffs and tossed one to her friend. Irene caught it easily. The girls snuck up on a couple of skeletons and whacked them with their staffs. Hey, Kai yelled. I thought I told you two to stay back. And what, let you have all the fun? Nia retorted. Somebody got to watch your back anyway, Irene added as she knocked a skeleton's head off. She saw a big, mean-looking skeleton step in front of Kai. He smirked and confidently held up his sword. The skeleton, Samukai, she thought, though she had no clue how she knew his name, snickered as he held out 4 arms wielding wicked knives. The smirk slipped off Kai's face quicker than soup through a fork. Kai tried to defend himself from Samukai's attack, but his sword was knocked out of his hand. Irene jumped in front of him, staff at the ready. Stay away from him, she snarled. Samukai simply kicked her into Kai, knocking them both down. He stood over them, spinning his knives menacingly. Ninja, go! Shouted a voice, and a gold tornado slammed into the skeleton, getting him away from the 2 teens on the ground. The tornado vanished, revealing the old man from earlier. Sensei Wu, your spinjitzu looks rusty, Samukai taunted. Nothing like bone to sharpen its edge, Samukai, the old man, Sensei Wu, answered. So his name is Samukai, Irene mused. She got to her feet. Kai was struggling due to the heavy armor he wore, so Irene grabbed his hand and tried to pull him up. She heard 4 separate thunks, and she turned as Samukai's knives hit the base of the water tower, making it tip towards them. Uh-oh, she heard Kai say, just before they were swept out of the way by Sensei Wu's spinjitzu. Irene heard Samukai shout, Lord Garmadon says, take the girl. Garmadon? Sensei Wu gasped in shock. A large claw thing launched from the biggest vehicle and latched onto Nia. who was trying to fend off a skeleton. "Nia!" Kai shouted as his sister was reeled in. The skeletons all drove away, Samukai cackling madly. Kai started to go after them but stopped. "They took Nia," he said. "I told you," Sensei Wu said, wrapping Kai's helmet with his staff. "Useless." Kai turned to face him. "You could have done something," he yelled. "You could have used your twist itsu or your spin jitsu," the old man corrected. "Whatever," Irene joined in, just as angry. "You did nothing to save my friend. We are going to go get her back." Kai and Irene turned to go after the skeletons, but Wu said, "Where they go, a mortal cannot." That was Samukai, king of the underworld. And if it's true that he's carrying out orders from Lord Garmadon, then I fear things are far worse than I had ever thought. "Lord Garmadon? Underworld? What's going on?" Kai demanded. "What do we have that's so important? And why would they take my sister?" "What's so important?" Wu repeated. "How about everything in Ninjago itself?" Oh boy, story time, Irene thought as Sensei Wu began his tale. Long before time had a name, Ninjago was created by the first Spinjitzu master using the 4 weapons of Spinjitzu. The Scythe of Quakes, the Nunchucks of Lightning, the Shurikens of Ice, and the Sword of Fire. Weapons so powerful, no one could handle all of their power at once. When he passed away, his 2 sons swore to protect them, but the oldest was consumed by darkness and wanted to possess them. A battle between brothers broke out, and the oldest was struck down and banished to the underworld. Peace returned, and the younger brother hid the weapons, but knowing the older brother's relentless ambition for power, he placed a guardian to protect them. And for fear of his own demise, a map for an honest man to hide. As Sensei Wu finished his story, the pieces all clicked into place in Irene's mind. "That honest man," she said slowly, "was Kai's father?" "Yes," Wu confirmed. "The older brother is Lord Garmadon, and I need to find those weapons before he does." "You're the younger brother?" Kai said in amazement. "No duh, hothead," Irene muttered. Turning to Sensei Wu, Kai asked, "So you came here looking for the map?" "No, something greater," Wu answered. "You." Kai gasped. "And by good fortune, you as well, Irene, though I did not expect our paths to cross so soon," Wu added to Irene. She stared at him. "No wonder you were surprised to see me earlier." "Since my brother cannot enter this realm, it's obvious he has struck a deal with Samukai," Wu said, pacing. "If he were to collect all 4 weapons, even I would not be able to stop him again. But you," he said, whirling around and pointing his staff at Kai, "you have the fire inside, and you," he turned to Irene, "you see what others cannot. I will train you both to harness these abilities, use them, become Spinjitzu masters." "I'm in," Irene said cheerfully. Kai pushed the staff aside. "Look, I'm flattered that you think I'm all that, but I've got to save my sister, not get involved in your sibling rivalry." He started to walk away. "Idiot," Irene fumed. "Don't you know that this is the best course of action to save Nia?" Before she could yell at him, Sensei Wu knocked him down and stood over him, chuckling. "Clunky mule, you are not even ready to face my pinky toe. If you want to get your sister back, you must control the fire that burns inside. Only when you become a Spinjitzu master will you be able to face Lord Garmadon." "Okay," Kai said defeatedly. Irene giggled. "When do we start?"